International Women's Day is a time to highlight activities that encourage women to pursue goals without bias or barriers. The theme for 2025 is Accelerate Action, to collectively forge a more inclusive world for women. To help explain how we can support inclusive communities right here in Niagara is mental health professional Calissa Ngozi. Calissa, good morning.
Good morning.
How can we champion gender equality?
I mean, I think the first step is understanding that there is inequality. Like, it doesn't matter how you paint it, how you look at it. It's something that we're working towards, but we're not there yet. So we need to make sure that when we talk about genders and what we want, which is equality, that we're working towards like the bigger goal.
I think one of the best ways to forge gender equality is to understand kind of what works. In your opinion, what should we be doing to support women's achievements?
Well, I think celebrating them. Recognizing them. So many times when you look at the corporate world, if we look at C-suite, even in education, we have a lot of women that have forged paths towards women equality, but they're not being recognized in the way that they should with their male counterparts. Now, I mean, things are a lot different from 1950 to 2025, so we have made these great strides, but I think that continuation in that conversation about yay women, we're doing great things is important.
Outside of March the 8th, how do we celebrate them?
Well, recognize that there are 364 other days of the year that we need to promote and lift women up. So when we talk about equality, a lot of times we think about BIPOC, but it's not just BIPOC, it's also gender equality as well. So we need to shine the light on what women are doing for our country, for our city, for our community.
What are some effective strategies or maybe activities that can help accelerate action?
Well, I think taking a look at historically, in the community of Niagara, St. Catharines, the Falls, wherever, what women do we have that are trailblazers? What women do we have that have invented things, that have called to action, certain things that are happening within our world, within our government, and letting our young people know about this. Because our young people, the next generation, that's who we're supposed to be inspiring. And if we're only inspiring them by one gender, then what are we really doing? Right? So it's about recognizing these women, and putting them in the forefront with being educated.
We just finished a provincial election, and there was a lot of signs out there with women names. That's got to be a big achievement, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a long time. We had a lot of formidable opponents that were running, and we didn't know how it was going to go. I mean, we thought we knew how it was going to go. But these women are incredible people, and to be able to see them on a stage like government is a big deal. And it's not that long ago that we didn't see that happening.
I remember Barack Obama visited Parliament, this is back in 2016, and Justin Trudeau got up there and he said, back in 1922, Agnes MacPhail, Canada's first woman MP, was a trailblazer back then. Now, Parliament is full of 50% women. It's quite the accomplishment.
It is. So we are moving towards the right goal, right? Is recognizing that women have just as much to bring to the table as men do.
How can we call out stereotype, question bias, or challenge discrimination in an effective, healthy way?
Well, one of the things in the corporate world is take a look at your hiring practices. What is the ratio of women versus men? And I'm not just talking about putting women in there just because, to check off a box, but putting women in there that are just as equally, if not more qualified for certain positions. I think it's about going into the schools and championing young girls and letting them know that they can do anything they want to do, the same as their brothers, the same as their fathers, their uncles, letting them know about fields that maybe we don't see a lot of women in. So engineering, automotive, all of those things. Women can do just as much, if not more, than men.
I had a direct report years ago who said, tries to, hire, fair and equitably. And he always said, if I did not hire women for a specific reason, I would have like a follow-up with them, and I would say why, and I would try and make them better. I think that's important, right?
And I think that's progressive because it's understanding that there is a little bit of a bias, and sometimes it's subconscious, we're not aware of it, but recognizing, okay, I understand that there's a need here and that we need to have maybe some more women employed, so let me do something to be intentional about it.
And for some, Women's Day is about, fighting for women's rights. We can't forget that. What does it mean to you?
Well, I think, yeah, we're fighting for women's rights, but also let's celebrate women. Let's celebrate all of the wonderful things that we're able to accomplish, whether it's personally, whether it's professionally, or whether it's relationally. But it's also being open and having conversations, a lot of times with the younger generation, because they don't always have the same thought patterns that we do, and just saying, it's okay to say, yay, women.
How are you celebrating Women's Day?
I'm celebrating myself.
Okay, all right, all right.
I've done a lot this year, and we've just gotten started. So it's recognizing what I've done, and I'm going to keep going. And really just being that legacy builder and that modeled behavior for my own kids.
Calissa, we can't forget about our young ladies as well, right? How do they get involved?
Well, I mean, I think it's important, the education piece that we've talked about, right? So talk to these young girls, show them examples. I know even in Niagara, we have the organization Future Black Female.
Dr. Tapo.
Yes, I love her. Yeah, she's fabulous. So, she has this program for young females, young Black females, and it's really about entering into the workforce, volunteering, and really letting the community know about initiatives, not just for Black women, but all women. So it's important. And I think when our young kids see that, it translates into progression.
Now you wore the pink pants, but you have to have a pink suit jacket. Did you forget that?
Pink is my favorite color.
Okay.
Yeah, I wore a pink jacket the last time I was here, so I couldn't do it again.
I kind of expected you totally in pink, everything, shirt, earrings, everything.
Had to change it up.
You know what I mean? Next time if you have something pink, bring it in for Anthony. Okay?
Perfect.
All right, thanks, Calissa.